Right now, here at noon, investigators are still trying to figure out what caused that crash and just how many people were on board at the time. They say at least 2 people have died and they know of 8 others that have been injured. The impact then sparked dozens of fires in the neighborhood, burning homes and cars. So let's take a look right now. This is ring video from someone who lives in that neighborhood. You can see the homeowner just frantic. He's in the background there, grabbing a hose, and then he goes to a fire extinguisher and back to his hose as he is working, trying to keep his house safe. CBS News has an update now on the investigation here at noon.
Homes were crushed and parked cars on fire after a small private jet slammed into this San Diego neighborhood housing military families just before 4 this morning.
With the jet fuel going down the street and everything on fire all at once, it was pretty horrific to see.
San Diego fire officials say the Cessna 550 aircraft went down in extremely foggy weather near the Montgomery Gibbs Executive Airport.
There are multiple homes, upwards of 10 homes that are affected. Also, when it hit the street, as the jet fuel went down, it took out every single car that was on both sides of the street on fire. Police
and fire officials went door to door to evacuate residents.
We have close to 100 people that have been displaced.
Instantly, my mind went to, I have to get my family out of here. And whatever's going on, like my car, her car, everything that's inside the house, that's irrelevant. Just make sure everybody's safe.
San Diego fire officials say the plane could hold as many as 10 people. It's not known yet how many were on board.
All the fatalities right now look to be that they're from the plane. No one was transported from the scene. So we don't have anybody that was transported off the scene, which is great news for us on this one.
Officials are looking into whether the plane crashed into a power line. The FAA says the NTSB is leading the investigation. Danya Backus, CBS News.
KREM 2 Plus is your home for breaking news. Right now, we are streaming live coverage of the plane crash coming in from our sister station in San Diego. By the way, you can download KREM 2 Plus for free and watch on your TV. All right, we're going to take a moment now and turn our attention to the weather here locally, where we've had some scattered showers throughout the morning. Nicole Hernandez is in for Thomas today. Nicole, what do you know?
Hey, Laura, yeah, scattered showers is really it. The ground is drying out, but still a little bit wet from the last time we got just a little bit of that light rain here on the South Hill. I'm leaving little mini footprints as I step around here, but take a look. Here in Spokane, South Hill, downtown, Coeur d'Alene, it's clouds. We're not seeing the sun yet. Luckily, now we are starting to see tiny little peaks of blue sky just trying to come out, and that's going to continue through the rest of the afternoon once these showers move their way out. Right now we're at 50 degrees already and raining in some parts. When I say rain, I mean light showers. It's nothing intense that's coming down at the moment. Here's where it's actually hitting. Radar even having a little bit of trouble picking it up because I think it's just that light of a rain. Earlier it was so light that I was like, I really don't even need my jacket. I'm only wearing a jacket because I'm cold outside, and now genuinely I'm a little too warm in this jacket because it's already 50 degrees. But that rain is definitely moving its way through the region, and it's going to continue moving its way through. By later this afternoon, all of it moves out and we end up with a chance for some sunshine here in eastern Washington before sunset. Out in North Idaho, you stick with the clouds just a little bit longer.
All right, my friend, thank you. Coming in new at noon, Thrive International has now broken ground on a new housing project in Spokane's Shiloh Hills neighborhood. The organization says the $10.5 million development along North Nevada Street represents a new model for affordable housing here in the Inland Northwest. It will feature 48 units with 51% dedicated to workforce and refugee housing. The project also includes a 24/7 library kiosk, community garden, and services to support refugee integration and community building. President Trump's budget bill, which he calls his, quote, one big beautiful bill, is now one step closer to becoming law. The House narrowly passed it early this morning, and that was following an overnight debate. Bradley Blackburn has a look at what's inside the bill.
After weeks of intense negotiations, President Trump's budget bill has passed the U.S. House by the slimmest of margins.
On this vote, the yeas are 215, the nays are 214, with one answering present. The bill is passed.
President Trump praised the passage of the bill, posting on social media, "This is arguably the most significant piece of legislation that will ever be signed in the history of our country." The bill makes permanent Trump's 2017 tax cuts, which were set to expire next year. It also cuts taxes on tips and overtime. It increases spending on the military and border security. To pay for all of that, it cuts spending on food stamps and slashes nearly $700 billion from federal funding for Medicaid, which the Congressional Budget Office says would lead to nearly 8 million people losing health coverage.
What we've seen is the largest cut to Medicaid in American history.
The bill now heads to the Senate, where several Republicans have voiced opposition to the Medicaid cuts. House leaders know changes to the bill will be needed to pass it in the Senate, but warned their colleagues not to go too far.
We have a very delicate equilibrium that we've reached on here. A lot of work went into this to find exactly the right balance. And you all saw how perilous that was over the last week as it developed. And I encourage our Senate colleagues to think of this as a one-team effort, as we have, and to modify this as little as possible.
Republicans are hoping to get the bill to President Trump to sign by the 4th of July. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
And this coming in new at noon, we are hearing now from several of our local lawmakers following the vote in the House. Here is some of their reaction. Washington Representative Michael Baumgartner, who voted in favor of the bill, posted on social media saying, quote, "Elections have consequences, and the contrast between leadership in Washington, D.C. and Washington State is stark." Washington Representative Dan Newhouse also voted in favor of the bill. In a statement, he said, quote, "House Republicans have delivered on our commitment to permanently extend tax cuts for the middle class and small businesses while eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse within the federal government." And Idaho Republican Representative Mike Simpson writes, "There is no greater time than right now to provide historic tax relief for hardworking Americans, restore energy independence, and make President Trump's border security policies permanent." The bill now, of course, heading to the Senate, and we are hearing from Washington Senator Maria Cantwell. She writes, "House Republicans just voted on a bill that does nothing to lower costs on working families who need the most help in reducing costs. This is Robin Hood in reverse, robbing from the poor to give to the rich." You can read the full statements from our lawmakers. We've posted that on our website. All you need to do is head to KREM.com. And this is coming in new at noon as well. Washington's governor and healthcare workers are sharing their concerns about how the bill will impact Medicaid. About 1.8 million people across the state are enrolled in the program.
There is no doubt that hospitals, to your point, right, hospitals will close in Washington state, in rural parts of our state and in urban parts of our state. You can just take that to the bank. That's going to happen. Nursing homes in our state will close if this is approved by the United States Senate.